ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Who gives a shit? Nobody's actually watching this shit anyways. I'm just gonna... I can say whatever the fuck I wanted to if I wanted to. No one will care. Oh, fuck it. Back on the moon. Back on the moon. Do I have a light? I have a light. Okay, let's... It's been a couple weeks, so let me figure out what I have and don't have really quick. Have cooling... Have food with light if I wanted to. Keep that. Looks like I was in the middle of building this. Okay. Steel. Steel. Okay. I have steel. I have electrum. Do I have... I have Invar, so that means I have Constantan and solder as well. I absolutely have solder. I have a laptop. Okay. Let's look at this real quick. You're plumbed, you're plumbed, you're plumbed. So we have oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and what the fuck else? Why do I have 4? 4 tanks. Ah, okay, I see. This one's not actually hooked up to a tank. This one goes outside. All right, so this is our crap we really don't want one. Got it. The thing was just went dinging. Okay. So, those are thriving towards fruiting. We've got a good amount of you. Alright, these are not insulated because they're inside. These pipes aren't insulated, and that was on purpose because they're inside. Some of these pipes, why aren't you... We don't give a shit about you. That's what it is. Let me look outside really quick. I have not looked at this save since the last time I streamed it, so I need to remember what past retarded pig was saying and doing so that I know what to expect. Okay. I suspect this is for our ice crusher. We're just combining. Let's look up. Aha! There you are. Okay. Need a cowl to finish that. You have iron in you. Not a lot of iron. Okay. I've got a good amount of steel. Food is low. We've got some potatoes. 1 potato. I don't have anything to cook potatoes in. Did I not build? I didn't build anything. I didn't put a, for you. Hydroponic supplies. Fuel. I'm just going to push you over. What's in that? Oh, the battery's over there. I'm going to just leave you there. Constantan. Alright. Not in you. What's in you? Portable air conditioner, mining supplies, residential supplies. There we go. Container mounts, lockers, tables, microwave. Tables. I'm gonna slap you down right there. You. Alright, we need the microwave to cook potatoes, but they can only cook basic things. Do I have more cables floating around? I don't believe I do. So, you go there. Print some out. Well, that's... I need to bring up the... There we go. That's working now. Now I can see if anybody says anything. Not likely. Y'all don't watch me. I play boring shit. Alright, so where'd that potato go? There's that potato. Come here, you. I'm going to eat you. Huzzah! Food. Helmet is closed. There we go. Hang on. Not you. You. There we go. Oh. 1, 2, 3. I just saw what's in my backpack. I've got plenty of iron in there. You. Drag you out of the way. Here. And then you. Go there as well. I don't need you in the middle of the... Okay, I did not mean to open that. I was trying to pick it up. But whatever. You... Don't need you. We don't have to worry about storms or anything. Cables. Okay, so... Pipes. We are working on pipes. Still. So, iron. Go in here. Search. Cowl. For outside. Pipe. Regular one. So this pump basically pulls atmosphere from in the base and multiple networks, which we'll be messing with. That's brown pipe network. That's pipe network there. So, heavy cable goes down the center. Base pipe network goes down on the right. Yes, yes. Oh! We're actually going to be changing that. We're going to be moving the power spine to outside on the frames. So I was originally building a frame for spine because the solar panels didn't used to be able to be put on walls. They used to have to be on a frame. But I discovered that that's obsolete process recently. However, I might continue building frames as a well, a spinal hard point for us to mount, like, pipes and shit that run throughout the base. But that is neither here nor there. At the moment, we are finishing this guy. Don't want that there. We want a passive vent now. Search. Passive. Passive vent. Boom. Okay. So if I remember right, the sun rises and sets. So that direction, this direction, is going to be our greenhouse. So I'm going to have 2 pipe networks. I'm going to have the one specifically for the greenhouse. And then we're going to have the one specifically for the rest of the base. That's how I'd like to do it. So, alright. Now, we want tools. Hydration critical. Let me go ahead and drink something really quick. So, we want tools. First, we're going to just go ahead and take this off for a couple minutes, get rid of that hygiene thing. We want tools, and we need the tool thing to do it. So we need sheets. I haven't done any mods aside from the electronic printer mod. Not important at the moment. Let's see. Iron and silicon. Where... There's the silicon. 50, 30, that'll do. I have an iron sheet, and you... Do I have any plastic sheets hanging out anywhere? I think I should. Pretty sure I had a whole stack of plastic sheets, but whatever, it's not a big deal. Power you on. I need a couple of iron sheets. And for that, we need iron in the printer. You go in there. Never mind, we have plenty of iron sheets. We need plastic sheets. 2 of you. 2. And then cable, I'm going to put you back in the filler. There you go. 6 cable coil. Not going to be enough. All right. Print a few of those. Iron. No kidding. I was just welding. Keep that going because I want more. Go. You can stop for now. Did I ever wire that up? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Power on. Search. I want a new welder. I want an arc welder. And I want an arc welder because the gas welder thing puts poison in my base. I don't want poison in my base. So we need steel, electron, invar, and solder. Battery kit. Okay. I don't know what I was up to, but okay. Steel, invar, electrum. Is the solder in here? No. There it is. It's hiding behind you. We're going to take you back off. And we're going to print you. And we're also going to do standing light. We can do a headlamp. It's wearable. Portable light. You. Hello, welder. And we need batteries. Steel. Whoop. Large batteries needs gold. I've got gold right here. And we have enough to print out 3 batteries. We'll print out the 3 batteries. Uniform. You can just go there. You, and do I have a battery charger? I do. Perfect. You there. Turn you on. Perfect. Excellent. That makes things better. So I've played with the headlamp a lot. It's okay. There. Kind of want to upgrade you, so we'll print you really quick. And put you somewhere else. You know what? You can just go on the floor here for now. You. Those will be for tools and suit. Thank you, Hale. Me and my gray hair. Oh, right. We're working on this right now. We've got iron to spare. We're going to close that. We're going to print out some paint for color coding. So we've got 4 tanks in there. We need brown. We need white. Not you. We need black. We need gray. This way we're actually going to be able to keep track of what we're trying to do. I want you white. No. You're already painted white, so I can't change you. We're going to do carbon dioxide over here. Carbon dioxide is gray, and we'll do nitrogen over here. That is black. I didn't paint the, there we go. Okay. And brown. No. This is coming from outside. The brown signifies that it's mixed gas, just for us to stop painting the wires. Just so that we know if we're tapping into it, we know what it is. That is what I use brown for, is all of my mixed gases. Damn it. There we go. All right. There's that. And we could do a sensor. I'm going to do a sensor. And we have a solar storm going on out there. Let's see. Sensor kit. Copper. Did we completely run? Oh, 50 grams of copper. Okay. We need housing. Solder. And then IC10s. I need 5 chips. Electrum. Ooh, I need more gold. I have more gold. Boom. Look at that. Let that go for a little bit. Alright, so each one of these guys is going to have a chip that controls when it turns on. It's going to control each of these pumps. So this one will control this guy, and that guy. This one will control these guys. This one will control these guys. This one will control this guy. And then I'm going to have a housing. I'm going to need a pipe analyzer anyways. Yes, I'm going to need a pipe analyzer. That's 1. 2. Search. Analyzer. You. I need Electrum. So we're waiting for you anyways. Yes. Go there. You. Last one, for now. Come on, please. There we go. You can go here. Open. Your Electrum. We're gonna have a liquid pipe, a regular pipe analyzer, and a liquid pipe analyzer. Oh, gold. Come here. Boom. Put you in the room there. You will go on the liquid pipe. We'll worry about you later. So this control is going to control this pump, and then eventually the liquid pump as well. So let's get ourselves some... Do I have any silver? Don't think I have any silver. No, I do not. I do not have any silver. I use the silver. Power you off for now. Words. Put you up there. Put you in there. We'll go with basic filters for now. Filter. Nitrous. Pollutant. You. Oxygen. Two of you. Carbon dioxide. Here. And nitrogen. Now, I'm wondering where my labeler is. Have I pulled out my labeler yet? I think I've pulled my labeler out. Might not have. Our hygiene is back to normal. We're getting hungry again. Potato seeds, sweet. Perfect. Grab you and eat. Put our suit back on. Where's my helmet? There it is. Turn that light off, and we're going to swap the battery. Is that the sun going down? That's the sun going down. Where's my lander? Should be over here. I'm pretty sure I pulled everything out. So where did my labeler go? There's a beacon. Turn that on just so that I can see. Pretty sure there's a crater over here that I landed in. Yes, and then the lander should be down here. Just to make sure. There's the lander. It didn't leave any crates down here, so we're going to go back up. So my labeler's in the base somewhere. Because it's not in any of my pockets. Labeler. Oh, there's a crate. There you are. All right. So, oxygen, product, pump, oxygen, waste, pump, CO2, product, pump, CO2, waste, pump, nitrogen, product, pump, nitrogen, waste, pump, extra, waste, pump. Crusher, pump. Base, pump. Crusher, analyzer. Base, sensor. Okay. Turn this light off. Alright, laptop. Come here, Lappy Lappy. Edit. We're going to import simplified logic overwrite, and we're going to make some changes because I haven't gotten a chance to do that. So we're not worrying about a diode right now anyways. We'll have a separate chip that controls the diodes when we actually install them. So this one is the oxygen. And we're going to go based off of moles. Max mole is 7 in there. Minimum mole is... We're going to go with 2... We're going to go with 4. And we're going to boost that up to 10. And we're going to add... I'm going to make some changes here. Product pump, and then we're going to change the diode to waste pump. We're going to confirm on that before making any more changes. So, product pump on, W pump on, P pump off. Waste pump off. All right, so The way this works, the filter itself is dB, because there's only 2 pins. Pin 1, which is D0, device 0, that's what that stands for, in my head at least. And then device 1, so the product pump is on pin 0, and then the waste pump is on pin 1 for the material that you're looking for. Okay. It's based off of moles, not partial pressure. We only do partial pressure. We only do pressure when it comes to keeping the base pressurized. Maximum moles that we want to have in that pipe. This is what's it called? Schweizer's switch? Anyways, if it goes above our maximum set point, it turns on. If it goes below our minimum set point, it goes off. That way we're not running it constantly, unnecessarily screwing with our filters, and also wasting power that we don't need to be consuming. When it kicks on, it sets the filter's mode to active, which makes it run, and it turns on our product pump, and it turns off our waste pump. If we have a difference in pressures between the input from the base and the output, it will work better. The bigger the difference, the more it actually filters out in the end. So we want to turn them on when we have this thing active, and we want them to turn off when it's inactive. Confirm. So, and they get turned all the way up to 10, their maximum. If you want to filter out more, well, high pressure in here, low pressure in here, and you can potentially achieve that with turbo pumps. But turbo pumps suck a lot of power, and I mean a lot of power. So we're going to export you, put you in here, turn you on, wait for the error, and then we'll set our device pins. This is oxygen, so wait, hang on. Was that filtrate? Oh. What? Ah. That's not important. Oxygen product. Oxygen waste. Power on. Okay, she is idle. On to the next one. Edit. This one is carbon dioxide. So how it works is it loads from the filter, which is dB, at the input the total ratio of carbon dioxide. Then it checks for the total moles at the input. Then it multiplies the ratio, which is a decimal, by the total moles, which could also be a decimal, but it tells you how many moles of carbon dioxide are in here from its ratio. If it's greater than that minimum, it turns on. If it's greater than that maximum, it turns on. If it's lower than that minimum, it turns off, because there's no point. We won't get a very effective operation on it. Confirm. Export. Power on. We want to turn it off after you've messed with it, because if it selects any of the other devices in here, it can turn shit on and off when you don't want it to. CO2 product. CO2 waste. Yes. All right. And then we need to name our tanks. Oxygen tank. Carbon dioxide tank, nitrogen tank, mix tank. I'm going to have consoles telling me what the pressures are at some point, just not at the moment. I'm going to turn you up all the way, turn you up all the way. Our final one is our nitrogen. Well, no. Our final one of this is our nitrogen. Edit. So, this is our nitrogen one. Don't have to change anything. Confirm, export, on. You. Nitrogen product. Uh-oh. Okay, it's just not in sequence the way it's supposed to be. Nitrogen waste, okay. Boom. We're all live over here. So you are going to be slightly different. We are going to look at, we're also going to do load into R7. Nitrous oxide input, and then we'll do the same thing in R7. Filter ratio pollutant input. And then we're going to take whichever one is highest. And I believe that is max. Yes. So we're going to hit max into R5, R5, and R7. So what that'll do is we'll load into R5 the ratio of nitrous oxide, and in R5, and in R7 we'll do pollutant, and then we'll max between R5 and R7 into R5. So whichever one is highest will go into R5. Because we don't care beyond that. We just need to know that one of these elements is enough for this device to run. And then it will run and it will pull both of them out until the highest one is below 4. Confirm, export. We need to make some other changes. Edit. We're going to get rid of D0. We do not have to worry about a pump in this instance because this one is going... What am I doing? Directly outside, which we have the cowl for right there. We're going to get that next. I have my suit on for some reason. Power on, power off, and then all we have to do is adjust device pin. Extra. Extra waste pump. Oh, hang on. Extra waste pump. There we go. Not found at line 32. Edit. Line 32? Export. There we go. Okay. All right. Turn you off because we are done with you for the moment. Now, we're going to go outside really quick. And we're going to put the cowl on, and then our basic setup will be complete. Perfect. Hydration critical. All right. We can actually take our suit off for now. Okay, so next thing on the agenda is to finish the outside and well as the liquid. So I'm going to have my liquid run this way. It'll come through, pop out, because with the door there, not necessarily this door, but any door we have in the future, is going to come out, come over, back in, and then head straight through to the greenhouse. We're going to keep our water in the greenhouse, as well as our food facilities, at least at the start. Not doing that yet, though. All right. So we want... I'm not going to worry about the water for now. We'll worry about the water later once we have the greenhouse actually built. We have 38 liters in this tank. We'll be fine. And we have the ice crusher on the outside. You should probably be insulated. What temperature are you? 20 degrees Celsius. You're fine. Okay. So this is done for now. Except for you. We need you to work. You're not hooked up either. Where's our nearest? Here. Okay. Cables. So we need this guy to be operational. We need that guy to be operational. I want them to be operational before... we get the ice crusher on. And then you... what is that? Proximity? Okay. Gas sensor, and we're going to rename you again. Base G sensor. There we go. Okay. You. All right. Edit. Clear. I had a base control that was working earlier. I did not like how it was working. So we're going to be doing some other things. All right. So we want alias base G sensor D0 alias base crusher analyzer D1 alias base pump D2 alias Crusher pump D3. Start. Hang on. Alias. Base. Pressure. R15. There are 16 registers. 15 is the highest. Alias. Crusher pressure. R14. Alias. Max pressure. Max D13. Oops. R13. Alias. Pressure minimum. R14 or 12. 15, 14, 13, 12. So our max pressure in the base, we want it to be 110. No, that's a little high. We'll do 101. Move P min be 95. I want more than that. Carbon dioxide is going to be the biggest problem in the main base, so we want to remove carbon dioxide. But we want, for now, the plants need a certain amount of moles, certain amount of pressure, gases, oxygen. Hang on. Home. Just to double check here. Thirst and hydration. Hunger and nutrition. Oxygen, nitrogen is 35. Insert a canister or smart canister containing a breathe gas mix, oxygen or nitrogen oxygen at 35-65. Huh? The nitrogen will accumulate in your suit over time and suffocate you unless you have a nitrogen filter. If you have correct the filter, use the flush function. Okay, that's cool. There's a certain amount, there's a certain level of oxygen our body needs in order to breathe properly. Guides, temperature control. I can't remember what that actually is. Breathable atmosphere at roughly 3-to-1. So we need 3 parts. So I want to mainly pressurize the base with nitrogen. If we don't have to use a whole lot of oxygen, I don't want to. Because that's a lot more oxygen I have to be able to maintain. You can get a lot of nitrogen very quickly, and some plants use nitrogen, but mostly we don't use nitrogen to breathe in our consumption of air. We use the oxygen. So I guess roughly 3 to 1 needs nitrogen to oxygen. Okay, so we're going to have separate devices that actually control how much nitrogen versus how much oxygen. This is just going to pull gases out if the pressure gets too high. Or carbon dioxide gets too high. Carbon dioxide. Carbon has a high... you don't grow without it. You can either place a gas filter in the room. It tells me nothing. Okay. Let's look at our plants for now. Plants. Right now we're growing potatoes, but we want soybeans. Soybeans need carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Wheat just needs carbon dioxide. Same with potatoes. So we want to have carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. Alias CO2 max alias CO2 minimum R11 R10. Move CO max. I don't want it to be more than 0.5 or 0.05. I don't want it to be more than 5% of our atmosphere. Move CO2 min, and I don't want it to be any less than 1% of our atmosphere. 1% of our atmosphere is 1 psi. We're going to adjust that to 105. There we go. All right, start. This is the start of the actual program. When you turn it on, it will run through... Whoa. That was weird. All right, when we turn it on, it'll run through all this. It will set all of these, and then it will set all of these, and then it will set all of these, and then it'll go into the program itself. We want it to wait a tick every single time just to save PC resources, because this runs very fast. And if it's running super fast a lot, that's a lot of calculations the system is running all of the time. So we want to load from the crusher. We want to load into R0 from the crusher analyzer. Pressure set greater than 0. It's more than 0. I want to be pulling the atmosphere out of that. R0, R0. So if it's greater than 0, it will set R0 to 1. Set. We're going to do branching commands on this. Branch greater than 0, return R0 is greater than 0, C pump on. Oh. Alias on is R9, alias off R8. C pump on. Oh, move, come on. Move on 1. And we can leave R8 alone because it's already at 0. C pump on. Branch equals 0 AL R0 C pump off. Now load R1 from the gas sensor, base G sensor. Pressure. Load R2. No, we'll do that one later. Branch greater than Z0AL. I'm sorry. If branch greater than, if R1 is greater than pressure max, we branch to base. Just keep simple. B pump on. Branch equals 0. And we want to return AL R1 P minimum B pump off. Load R2 ratio from the base gas sensor. Ratio carbon dioxide. Branch greater than AL, return address. If CO2 max R2 is greater than CO2 max. Let me just make sure I'm doing that right. Branch greater than. Branch to line C if A is greater than B. Yes. B pump on. So we're going to have to do some conditions. All right. We're going to have to do this a little bit differently than what I was trying to do. We're going to confirm for now so we can take care of our food and our water. You. Okay. So just like this guy, we're going to have to choose between the two somehow. Set greater than R0 We're going to do cancel that. I just screwed that up. Okay, so this one we'll leave alone. This one is one where you want to mess with. Load R2 base G sensor ratio carbon dioxide set greater than R1 if R1 is greater than P max. Set greater than R2 if R2 is greater than CO2 max. And then we want the maximum of the two. Max to R1, R1, and R2. So if one of these is 1 greater than, then R1 will become 1. Branch greater than 0, AL, R1, B pump on. Branch equals 0, AL, R1, B pump off. Okay, so if both of these are under the minimum, hang on. We're going to max that into R3. Oops. We're going to max that into R3. And if R3, if either of those is greater than R3, the pump comes on. And then no, this isn't going to work that way. So we're going to add some more registers. Alias B pressure R7 alias B CO2 R6. Okay, so load into B pressure, the pressure, load into base CO2, CO2, set greater than R1 if the pressure B pressure max B CO2 max between these two. So if either of these are higher, they will R3 will be and then now we need to do the opposite. So set less than R0. All right, so Set equals 0. R1. Hang on. How am I going to do this? Pause that for a second. So turning the pump on is easy. It's just if the pressure is higher, turn it off. If the CO2 is too high, turn it off. If neither are over this, so we're going to get rid of the min. No, we're going to keep them in. Sorry, that's not correct. That's correct. Okay, so this is a problem. This is a problem. How am I going to do this? This is a conundrum for me. Let's see here. And let me see and performs a bitwise logic AND operation on the binary representation of two values. Each bit of the result is determined by evaluating the corresponding bits of the input values. If both bits are 1, the resulting bit set is to 1. Otherwise, the resulting bit is set to 0. Okay. That's what we'll do. Set less than. We're going to get rid of the CO2 minimum. We're going to get rid of the CO2 minimum because my brain is not smart enough to actually figure out how to do this and keep them both above the minimum. Because if the CO2 is too high, it's going to keep pulling pressure until they're both below the minimum. So I'd have to do it a different way, but I don't want to do it a different way. Set less than. Set less than 0 AL. Set less than R1 B pressure minimum. Branch greater than 0 AL to R1 B pump off. J start. So C pump on, set C pump, crusher pump on J, return address. So it'll branch to C pump on, turn it on, and then it'll jump back to the return address, which is this guy. When you type in AL, it sets the next number, the next line number, 23, as the return address. Same thing for this guy. If at the time there's no pressure in there, if it's 0, we're going to make sure the pump is actually off, so it's not wasting power. Set pressure pump on to off, JRA. And it'll jump up to here, so it'll load the base pressure, and then it'll load the base carbon dioxide. B pump on, set base pump on to on, JRA, and then B pump off, set base pump on to off. The only way to do this based off of the parcel pressures alone, JRA. The only way to do this based off the parcel pressures alone would be to have every single one of these filtration units connected to the base itself. The problem is this whole thing is supposed to be also separating the mixed gases outside. Now we can change that eventually when I build an entire atmospherics that is to be used not as part of the base atmosphere, if we wanted to, like a completely separate room, because the focus of in here is just to help control the atmospherics in the base. For now, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to leave it like this. We're going to export you, power on, device not found. You're not even plugged in yet. Wire cutters are here. Just enough. Power you on. There's nothing in there. Okay. So, you come out. Okay, so, base gas sensor. Crusher analyzer. Base pump. Crusher pump. Power on. Errors resolved. You're currently turning on off because I have a lot more CO2 in here than I want. I had a feeling that was going to happen. Turn you off. Got a lot more CO2 in here than I actually want to have. Tracker cartridge. Where are my other cartridges? Wait. You. There you are. Atmos analyzer. We're going to swap you really quick. Yeah, right now, carbon dioxide is 10%, almost 10% of our atmosphere. All right. For now, this is fine. We'll just leave that off for now. Okay. Now I want my atmospherics network. Because I want to tie you in, and then they will pretty much cool the entire base off of one pipe network, except for in there. No, it'll be fine. Let's see now. Oops. Power. Close you. You're set to 10. 10. 10. 10. 10. And 10. We want a crusher. We haven't done anything outside yet, so we need a frame? Steel frame. Where's our steel? There is our steel. One. Sheet. A single. 2 sheets so that we're not wasting a half gram of steel. 1. 2. We're going to put on our suit. Close. We're going to come out here to here. Whoops. I don't have a battery in my welder. Silly me. All right, we need a crusher. What am I doing? Ice crusher. We'll need some cables. And then, yeah, we're going to need a good number of cables. Crusher, iron sheets. You. And just before I forget to do this, we need to raise you up. There's you. that. We're going to set you down so that you move a little bit faster. Cable cutters. Boom. Alright, what's in our tool belt? We've got some oxide. Powered. Split half. Turn you up one. Split one. Turn you down to there. Split one. Yep. Let's go make sure our pump turned on. Waste tank caution. That's not our waste tank. Open. And filters are low. Why aren't you turned on? Because you're not turned on, that's why. Here we go. Pressure is dropping. Oxygen and nitrogen. You're on. Turn you up to 10. We're just going to have to deal with this. Okay, so let's get ourselves some water. And it's time for us to get ourselves some nitrice. Because we need nitrogen. We're going to swap the belts really quick. 22%, we're going to just swap you really quick. And then we want to make sure that we have our tracker. Wrong one. It's actually this one over here. Oh, hey, I did have plastic sheets. Cool. Swap you out. Come on. Thank you. We're going to swap you out really quick. All right. Whoops. All right, now I don't necessarily want to be disturbing my base stuff too much, so we're just going to walk off in a specific direction. Find a vein of nitrice. Hey, silver. I don't need that right now. So that we have some nitrogen in the base so that we can properly pressurize the freaking base. And just like always, when you want it, you can't find it. When you don't want it, you can't not find it. Sun is coming up soon. In fact, it's coming up actively right now. Silicon. Oxide. Want some of that. Should have made a mining backpack. Water ice. Don't need that. Nitrice. I walked right by it. There's some more over there, too. And some more over there. All right. I'm going to drop you and you just because. I don't want. It's 1 gram. It's not going to make that big a difference. There we go. Fine. You can stay. Right? Just waiting for that to come back out, because I saw some over in this direction. Come on. Anytime now. Let's go. Hurry up. There we go. Thank you. It looks like silicon there. All right, we are full. Faces that direction. That way. There you are. Probably going to have to play with the extras pump a little bit. I think I might have the moles a little bit too high. In fact, I'm going to go look at that now. Because pollutant and nitrous oxide will liquefy at relatively low pressures. So, you on, grab you, import, edit. We're going to go with 3 and 1. Confirm. Export. There we go. Try that again. Not try that again. Let's go do that thing that I wanted to do. Gets us some nitrogen. So our crusher pump will definitely be upgraded to a turbo later. And we're going to pause there and see what our pressure in the pipe is. See, there's the problem. Liquid. There's liquid nitrous dioxide in there. Or nitrous oxide in there already. Condensation is happening inside the pipe. Drain. Liquid drain. Iron. Iron. Print me one of those. And we want that pointing outside. There we go. Okay. Condensation is happening inside the pipe. We're going to print another one. And we're going to print another insulated pipe. Here we go.
Hunger caution.
See if that keeps it from breaking. Even just a little bit. Tablet. Come here, you. You. All right, there we go. Good. Two kilomoles. Okay. There's that. That. And then we'll do you. A little bit of you. Now we're going to go find some ox ice. That day went by already? Okay. Damn. Crap. Almost walked off without my base tracker. Alright, so we want to get ourselves a nice stockpile of oxygen and a nice stockpile of nitrogen. Because the majority of the base is going to be taken up by nitrogen. The nitrogen is not really going to be consumed that much.
Air tank low.
Air tank low. Bases. Lander's down there. Our bases should be up here. Right? No, I'm sorry. Base is over there. It's on the lip of this. There's water ice. Oh, okay. I recognize that. It's over here. Somewhere. There it is.
Air tank critical.
Just gonna open you back up. Just get rid of the extra. Here we go. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Of course, talking about myself no matter what, so. Are you on? You are on. Okay. Let's drop off this nitrice really quick, or at least 2 stacks of it. We're not going to get any more nitrice for now. Oops.
Hydration critical.
There's liquid pooling on top and there. Liquid nitrous. That's funny. And then 2. And my hydration and food are critical. Everything's getting in the way today. Make sure I'm not got any liquid pooling on the inside. Nope, no pipes broken. Good. Perfect. Okay. So,
Hunger critical.
food. Water. Water and fodder. That's good enough. Let's go get ourselves some freaking oxygen already. We're gonna head in this direction just because. Gold. Not at the moment. Thank you. I'm on a specific mission. Silicon. Same to you. Big hole in the ground that I put there. There we go. Here's some oxygen ice. Is there any more here? Nope. I think we're going to get ourselves a ore scanner soon. So we won't stop wasting time looking for stuff that's not there anymore. That's the wall. That's the giant crater wall. Silicon. The headlamp on the suit throws a bit further than the work lamp. Here's a hole that I made. I'm probably walking right by a whole bunch of it. I think we're gonna find... Actually, we only need a little bit more and we'll be full. There we go. going to drop that little bit there. There we go. Tracking beacon. That's what we want to track. Do the exterior for you. All right, you. And then you. And then you. You. And then the nitrites will go quick. You. And you. There we go. All right. What am I doing? You are doing well. How are you doing? 8 kilomoles. You've got nothing in you. 2 kilomoles. Pressure's not that very high. That's not what I want to happen. Okay, we're gonna need a valve. Condensation valve. There. Liquid drain. One more of those. Liquid inlet, active liquid outlet. Liquid pipes, insulated. Let's see what that does really quick. It's evaporating because there's no pressure in there. It's going to find a balance point. So here's what we're going to do. You and swap. You can go there for now. Put you down. Regular pipes. We need another valve. Expansion valve. There we go. There we go. Okay. So liquid that condenses in here will move into this pipe in here and evaporate because there's no pressure. And then liquid that pushes in here, the gases that go in here will just go straight up and out. It's continuing to condense in here because of the temperature and the pressure. There we go. What's going on? Okay, that is the correct direction. You aren't even active. You're sublimating. For some reason you are holding gas in you. Don't know why. Because gases in here are supposed to move from you over to you. Doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Liquid pipe is not going to break if there is gas in it. Unlike gas pipes. All right. Now, to you. You've got iron in you, so I want to empty you. You. We're going to need iron. All right, I want a floor grading for what I'm going to do next. Because we need to start getting gases out of the tanks and into the base. Flooring. Iron. Where did you... Where did the... Iron there. I have 52 iron on me right now. Which means that we're going to be going mining for iron soon. Power on. Floor grading. I like to use floor gradings. They're neat, in my opinion. There. Search. Housing. Copper, steel, and solder. Copper. Steel. Solder. I see 10. Electrum and gold. There's the gold. There's the electrum. And we're just going to stack this gold in there with it. We're going to need some pipes and some pumps. Housing. Pipes. You. All right. So, that's going to be a problem. Crap. Potentially going to be a problem. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Print a couple more. You. You. And I'm just going to put a passive vent on one side for now. We can adjust that later. Put you there. We need a pump. Volume pump. Gold and copper. You. Now this is going to control the nitrogen in the base. There you are. Plenty of oxygen in the base right now. There. There you are. I need more cable. We're going to be hunting for copper soon, too, because we're running out. Dang it. Cable. I am low on hydration. Here we go. There's you. Nitrogen fill pump. Okay. You. Lappy lappy. You. Clear that. Edit. Okay, so. Alias D0. Base gas sensor D0. Alias nitrogen fill D1. Confirm. Labeler. Okay, nitrogen fill. Edit. alias nitrogen base nitrogen R15 alias base nitrogen and max R14 alias and minimum R15 move n max to 70 move. We're gonna move that, put that at 75. No, I'm sorry, 73. And minimum is 70. Start yield load from into R0 from base gas sensor pressure load R1 base G sensor ratio nitrogen multiply R0 to multiply into base nitrogen R0 times R1. That gives us our pressure in nitrogen.
Hunger caution.
If so we're going to branch greater than, or sorry, branch less than AL if our base nitrogen is less than our nitrogen minimum, we branch to nitrogen and fill on branch greater than AL if base nitrogen is greater than nitrogen max and fill off. J start, that is our starting point. And then N, oops, alias on R for 13. That'll be a problem. 13, thank you. R12. Alias off R11. Nmax 73, Nmax, Nmin 70. Move on 1. So, nfill on set nitrogen fill on to on JRA and fill off set nitrogen fill on to off JRA. Confirm export. Power on, power off. Set pins. This needs to be on the base's gas sensor. Nitrogen fill. Where are you? Nitrogen fill pump. We're going to set you down to 1. We don't want you to fill too fast. Power on. And you are on. And that will slowly add nitrogen to the base until it reaches 73? 73 pressure of nitrogen. And we are going to do the same thing when it comes to the oxygen. Once we have more. But before we do that, consoles. Iron and gold. I'm going to get iron and gold. You. Gas display. Print you. Go there. Go there. Where are you? Glass sheets. Where? I could have swore I had. I haven't used any. Oh, they're in my freaking inventory, you dumbass. There. Grab you. Slap you in there. You. And you. There we go on you. Power you on. Nitrogen tank pressure. Nitrogen tank pressure. Okay, there's you. How about that? We're also going to put the diode on here when it's time to do that. Could adjust this cabling and then get all of my chip housings in here and a roller door. Question for another time. Okay, so the base is filling. It is filling with nitrogen. It's going to get up to 70 psi partial pressure of nitrogen. Well, 73. And turn off. Don't need another housing. We can use the same chip to control the nitrogen. So we need a... I'm out of copper. Damn it. Alright, well, it's a good place to stop. We're going to stop here for the evening. We will be back next week where we will get the oxygen flowing. And we'll have it set up the exact same way over there. This room is basically going to be corridors. The pumps will be visible. The tanks will not. The pipes will not either as soon as I'm able. I am probably going to move this circuit housing over here. Because we're going to have a third one controlling our diodes that tell us what condition our filters are in at a glance. That being said, for tonight, we are finished. Hello, potatoes. We're going to start next week off right. Put you away. You away. You can get put away for now. You can get put over here.
Hunger critical.
Hunger Sugar critical. Yes, that's why I was cooking the potato, damn it. I have copper. Right. Print you. Screw it. Let's do this. Console. Print you. Dump you. Iron over here. Damn it. Floor grading. Slap you right there. Yes. No. Hang on. Let's reverse that. Crowbar. There you go. There. We need you and you. You. Volume pump, a volume pump. There. Pipe. We're just going to dump the rest of the iron into pipes. Well, not the rest of it, but a good amount of it. You. Just going to go ahead and get this taken care of, because I want this taken care of. I don't want to come back and then completely forget what I was working on. I like to finish a project when I'm here. 10. Let's see. Wrench. One, two that are white. One and two that are white. Probably gonna need more than 5. One more. You are. Power you off for the moment. Okay. Just in case, because I'm stupid that way. Edit. So. Alias O max R10. Alias O min R9. Move O max to 25? 73.
Hydration critical.
25. We'll go with 25 for now. Move O min to 20. And then we'll do the same thing down here. And then alias base oxygen R8. Load R0 base G sensor. Pressure just because. Load R1 from base G sensor. Thank you. Ratio oxygen. Multiply into base oxygen R0 and R1. And then we'll do the same thing here. Branch less than base oxygen O min O fill on branch. Oh. AL, because I want to come back up here. Branch greater than AL. Base oxygen. That is not an S, that is an X. Base oxygen. O max. O fill off. O fill on. Set oxygen fill on set JRA O fill off set oxygen fill on to off JRA. Make sure that's actually working. Yes. Okay. We come back up here. Alias oxygen fill D2. Confirm. Labeler. Oxygen fill pump. U. Export. Power on. Error. So, base nitrogen. Base gas sensor. Nitrogen fill pump. Oxygen, tank, waste. Ah, I never wired it up. Okay. That was silly of me. We need our copper back. We need more cable. Cable. Print. How many more do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4. We printed way more than... Well, not a way more than 4, but more than 4. Drink a drink. All right, now we can set the oxygen fill. There we go. Power on. And we're also going to reduce you down to 1. Now, glass sheet. Why won't it let me... Ooh, that's why. I printed a graph display, not a gas display. That's okay. We'll use that later. Search gas display. Give me my iron and gold back. Print you. We might play with graph displays later in here. Now, disk. There you are. Oxygen tank. Pressure. There we go. You're still going. Incorrect variable at line 28. Edit. Line 28. Oh. What? Ah. Confirm. Export. Try that again. All right, now let's go ahead and see. So half of our basis pressure right now is, over half of our basis pressure right now is oxygen. We've got 60 kPa, so that we've got 30 of that is oxygen. That means that this guy's not going to turn on for a while. And we set it up so that it will not turn on until the pressure in here, that is oxygen, falls below 20. Which might not happen for a long time. Firm. Might not happen for a long time. But that being said, project complete. This guy is working. This guy is working. And until our pressure is up, this guy's going to keep doing this bullshit. But that's not a big deal. We'll be fine. I'm going to drop you down to 1. That's fine. Okay. We're going to go ahead and you up. Go that way. This wire's in the way. Let me fix that while I'm thinking about it. There we go. That's gonna get in way of the. That's gonna get in the way of that pipe. It's gonna come over, come down, come over, come across, and then come back over. I just wanted to make sure that got corrected before anything bad happened. So there we go. All good. Alright, well, I will see you all tomorrow night with the rest of the crew. I don't know what we're doing just yet. Because I never know what we're doing just yet. That's our whole shtick. We never know what we're doing. Until next time, have a wonderful evening.